What's up? It's the Brunch Breakdown. DD out here in Los Angeles. Chris and Dan are in Pittsburgh. Today on the show, we're going to be talking Super Bowl stuff that we don't want to talk about for the next 2 weeks. We've got the NFL and KFC's international collaboration.
No, you know what it sounded like?
Collaboration?
It sounded like you said
Collaboration?
collaboration.
Collaboration.
And I
which
think
is
that's a good
that's good
team.
foreshadowing. That's foreshadowing right
Yeah.
there. Collaboration brunch.
Wow.
There it is. That's the title.
Wow.
It's early for you,
NFL
brother. Yeah.
And KFC's collaboration and the weirdest stuff we saw on the internet this week, plus music and more. It's the Brunch Breakdown. Dan, let everybody know where they can find us. And Chris, where can we find that pineapple?
Bro, it's been negative degrees here in Pittsburgh in January, and when that happens, you get as tropical as you possibly can. So I'm going to eat a pineapple during this episode. Dan, where can you find us and a pineapple as good as this one? Because this is delicious.
Where can you find that pineapple? You can find the Brunch Breakdown anywhere you listen to podcasts. We've got a new episode coming out each and every single Wednesday. Hit follow or hit subscribe wherever you like to listen. That episode will come straight to you Wednesday morning. You can also watch the full video episodes on YouTube and Facebook and Spotify. They premiere at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, but on demand anytime you'd like to watch after that. We are everywhere on social media: Facebook, X, Instagram, Threads, Triller. And for now, we're back on TikTok like everybody else, I guess. You know, we recorded a whole episode about the demise of TikTok last week. Mere hours later, it was back up and running. So hope you enjoyed that hour with us last week. But it's back for now. So you can find us there at Brunch Breakdown. And then, of course, we give you what we're listening to at the end of every episode. We put that into a playlist. We call it the Sounds of Brunch. And you can find that exclusively on Spotify. That's Spotify Friday.
It's a collaboration.
It's a collaboration. You can find this collaboration each and every Friday on Spotify. Ooh, we are off and running like a bunch of professionals.
We are on it. On it. Well, Chris, get it off your chest.
All right. This is kind of touching on a topic that we've talked about here and there in the history of this podcast about, like, I don't know, when you grow up and especially when you like start having a family, you obviously have your friends that you grew up with. And I don't think your friendships with other people you meet throughout life, except for like maybe people in rare circumstances, I feel like those friendships don't get to like the closeness level of the ones that you had with the people that you met like either in high school or college or like in those early years after college. And that's very true. But we had a birthday party for my daughter, Charlotte, yesterday, and had a bunch of people over from her daycare class and like all the people we like. Okay. So it was a good group. I have to say though, I don't like this. It's just so weird to me because one of my favorite parent friends that we've met through daycare just so happens to be like a massive West Virginia fan.
Ooh.
And can somebody explain to me why like some of my favorite people in life just continue to turn out to be tied to West Virginia in some way, shape, or form? It doesn't make any sense to me. How does that make any sense? Like, how does this keep happening?
Would you like me to answer that?
I don't know that I want you to, but I guess I brought it up. So sure, Dee, what's your brilliant idea? Why?
Well, Chris, you live closer to West Virginia than you do Pittsburgh.
That's not true. That's not true. It's not true. I'm in the same county as Pittsburgh. That's not true.
I'm just telling you. My friend Steve, who is one of your favorite people.
Yeah.
He lives where you live because he wants to be closer to West Virginia.
No.
So he can drive over to where his family restaurant is.
Yeah.
That he like works there and probably, I guess, owns it, I guess, because family. But anyhow, yeah, like it's, Also, you just love West Virginia, Chris. Like, you just do. Like, I've been trying to say this to you for the longest time, and you don't want to listen to it. But now that you're older and you've had a family, you've started to realize that you love West Virginia. And it's okay. It's okay to say you love West Virginia. It's all right, dude. Just say it. Say it. My name is Chris, and I love West Virginia.
I'm not repeating anything that Didi says. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, man. It's just like, it's weird. It is so weird. And I will say of like because this is obviously very heavily rooted in my rooting interests for sports with being a Pitt fan. I will say though that I find the rivalry relationship with West Virginia fans a bit more like fun loving than the other ones. So maybe that's part of it. Like, I don't get this same connection with Penn State fans. It just doesn't happen.
Correct.
But maybe it's because like Pitt and West Virginia were kind of in it together, you know, like everybody's cast us off anyway. So why don't we just be friends and hate each other one time a year? I don't know. It's weird, man. It's a strange thing in my life. I'm detail oriented. I'm structured. I got lots of things set up to happen in certain ways because I planned it that way, and this is not one of them, and I can't figure it out. So that's what I got to get off my chest this week. Is a troubling trend in my life. That's all.
You need a quota, Chris. You need a quota. So you're just like, the next time you're like, listen, you seem like a great guy. Our kids are friends, which is fine. But I cannot have another West Virginia friend in my life. Like, it's just not, I'm sorry. Wishing you all the luck and all the best, but we've hit the limit.
Yeah,
we've hit the limit at this point in life, and good luck.
It's not you, it's me.
Right.
I mean, the thing is, you can't see, and the thing is, you can't do that. And Chris is coming to this realization that he knows he can't do that, because the thing about friendships that are made based on your daughter's class, it has nothing to do with anything that you guys have done other than have sex with your wives at basically the same time. That's it. That's the only thing. So you can't, if you find someone that you actually enjoy, you can't be picky about it. That's can't be like,
a good point.
Especially you can't be picky about something that you actually like. And that is West Virginia. So you can't do that. No. And when it comes to the fun loving, like, rivalry thing, that is different if you met somebody from downstate West Virginia. And I think this is where the Penn State thing comes in, because those people are miserable. And if you live like from Morgantown and up, you're not miserable. Like, you go to Pittsburgh to do all the same things that everybody in Pittsburgh does. You don't hate Pittsburgh, right? So, like, you just don't. That's just how it goes. If you live in Pittsburgh, you may say you hate West Virginia, but, like, you've been to a Wheeling, whatever they call them, the hockey team, the Nailers. At one point. Yeah, the Wheeling Nailers at some point, or they used to be called the Thunderbirds is what I was going to say at first. But, yeah, like, you've been over there.
You've stopped for gas in Morgantown. You've stopped for gas there. The gas attendant was friendly.
Probably had fun in Morgantown. You know some people who go to WVU or something you had an internship with. You guys all do the same stuff, so you don't hate each other. It is fun loving. But down there, when you get past Morgantown, it's a little, meet somebody from Parkersburg, might be a little miserable. Same thing as if you meet somebody closer to State College. I don't know how you're not miserable down there. I have no idea. No idea how you're not miserable.
That part of West Virginia is a different state. They should just call that South Virginia. Like, that's just...
Yeah.
That's how I feel about State College.
We were railing on the transfer portal and shit. It's just good conversation, I will say, Didi, and then I'll stop talking about this. He had very much the same opinion as you about Rich Rod. I was like, all right, well, then I feel like I know where we're at. He agreed with your estimation about West Virginia coaches being assholes, and that's what they need. But
listen, when you're from up here, you're better off. When you're from down here, not
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, just looking off the entire pod audience.
Just showing you the state.
I guess. Yeah.
That's real classy, Didi.
Well.
Dan, get it off your chest.
Yeah, here's what I want to get off my chest this week, gentlemen. We've come so far in this planet globally with technology. It's really even kind of hard to put into words clearly. Things like driverless cars, right? Have you seen the commercial for the glasses that have the built-in AI? Are they Meta glasses that have built-in AI where you can ask it something and it repeats it back to you verbally? They're glasses. Have you seen these, right? You can literally call somebody with the touch of a button on the other side of the globe and look at them face to face and have a conversation just in seconds, right? No dial up. It's come a long way. But we haven't solved like some more simple things in life that I think occur much more often, if you will. Like the issue of walking into a restaurant and having to ask how long the wait is. Like, before I dive too much into this, I do want to acknowledge that there is technology available, right, for this. And if you've used Yelp before, you're familiar with this and their wait list option, because not every place takes a reservation, and you don't always have the ability to know when you need a reservation, what time, what place. You just don't know where you're going to be all the time, right? But why isn't every restaurant using something like this? And like, also don't say, oh, Google has the this place is busier than usual. I don't trust that at all. I don't know about you guys. I don't trust that at all. No way, no way. But every restaurant has a computer, a tablet, a phone. This could all be done on a phone, for crying out loud. Instead of having for me to park, get out of my car, walk in, ask the hostess how long the wait is for 2, 3, 4, whatever people, wasting my time, wasting their time, having this like just group of people just stand at the door because they were like, well, we had nowhere else to go. We might as well wait. Why haven't we digitized this in 2025? We're in 2025. This happens countless every Friday and Saturday night. It happens at the local Applebee's. It happens at nicer restaurants. It happens all from top to bottom. Happens everywhere. Hell, put a digital clock out by the door. Doesn't have to be big. Just a little digital screen there. Wait time for parties of 2, 3, 4, 6 plus.
They have that at Disney World, Dan.
Exactly.
Right?
They had that at Disney World. Why can't we do this at freaking restaurants that we go to all the time? Much more frequent, much more common. The technology's there. I don't understand it. I'm just trying to solve the simple things in life, people, just to make life easier. That's all.
I think the problem is you're going to Applebee's all the time. You got to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Give somewhere else a shot, huh?
Yeah. No, that's fair. I've noticed a real key, and you're probably not interested in heeding this advice, but I've noticed going to dinner at like 4:30. Never run into this issue.
You're right. I will not heed such advice, but fair point. Fair point.
Yeah, I don't know. Any of those things, I just never like listen to them anyways. I don't believe them because like sometimes dinner is going to be really fast for some people. Sometimes you're having a good time, you're not going to leave. I don't know how you know. I guess like,
well, it's like the same thing when you ask somebody, they're like, how long the wait is? And they're like they're just coming up with
They
something.
lie, man. And like I think they profile people too. This one time we went into a, what's the place that, BRGR? Or no, it wasn't that one. What's the other one called?
Purgatory.
We
Yeah.
walked in there and asked for a table for like 6 or 7 K's parents were in town. And like we were looking at the tables and there were a bunch of them open and they told us we had to wait like 45 minutes. We're like, what? And then like other people came in and they just sat them right in front of us. We're like, you just don't, we have kids and you don't want us to sit here. So we left. We went somewhere else. Like, I don't trust. You're right. This is kind of shady business. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. They're just there calculating it in their head. Like, no, we have technology that should be able to figure this out. You know, put a clock, an average clock time per table, and you're going to have an idea. And that way we're just a little bit more sophisticated about it rather than going like, oh, yeah, the wait's going to be somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour and 15. What?
It's considerably different.
It's very, very different. Yeah. I just, simple things, everyday things. We can get better at these. So that's all. Technology.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you.
Got to get better. All right. Well, boys, I'm going to get this off my chest. As you can tell, a little sick this week. This is probably a little sick. This is my voice. I don't know where this is coming from. My voice wasn't bad all week, but anyhow, so music is the most undervalued thing on the planet.
Hell yeah, brother.
No question. The most undervalued thing on the planet. We will never be able to pay a music artist for what they have done for us for our entire lives. They will never, ever, we'll never be able to repay them. So when I see people complaining about concert ticket prices and stuff, which I understand, they're very expensive. I'm like, you know what? I get it. And here's why. I was very sick Monday and Tuesday, and I had two things that I had to get done. And I was like very nervous that I was going to be like, not be able to do one of them, especially on Tuesday. Okay. And I'm like taking all this medicine, whatever, freaking Dayquil, Zicam, all these things, figuring it out, trying to get this done. And I'm like driving there and I still don't feel like shit. So I turn on Mano's All the Above. And let me fucking tell you, I played that shit 5 times and I felt like a brand new person. And did I get through the day? You're damn right I did. And it was because of Mano's All the Above. I could never pay him enough money to like that. He could never get paid enough. And this is somebody that if I said Mano to in a hip hop conversation or some of the people, they'd be like, oh, he's washed. He's done. Why are you talking about Mano? No, Mano did something for us. He did something for me in 2025 and did something for me completely different in like 2010 or 2009. Like you could never pay a music artist enough money. So the next time you're complaining about, oh man, I got to pay, oh, Spotify raised their prices. Oh, this raised their prices for music, whatever. Music does everything for us. It lives with us. Like people can be like, oh man, I love movies more than music. No, you don't. Don't believe you. I love TV shows more than music. No, so you're telling me that the cast of Friends does more for you than, I don't know, whatever Taylor Swift song you like? I'm guessing if you like Friends, you like Taylor Swift. Just doing it.
Safe.
But like, I'm just saying, like, you can't tell me it's the same. It's not. It's not. You can love Denzel Washington all you want. But he's not with you in your car. He's not with you in the grocery store. He's not with you anywhere. He's just with you when you sit down on your couch and watch a movie. He's not with you everywhere. He cannot make you unsick. And somehow Mano's All the Above featuring T-Pain made me unsick. And music. I don't know. Who can I donate to? I just want to give money to musicians right now. It's really bad because they really got me through a week. So shouts to music and pay them all the money you can.
Could you imagine?
Priceless.
Could you imagine if Denzel was with you all the time? The amount of shit you get done though.
I mean, it'd be motivating.
It'd be motivating as
Yeah.
hell. He would make you unsick. You just can't carry him with you all the time. So Didi, it sounds like what you're saying is between all of the meds and then T-Pain and Mano, it was a healthy and productive collaboration.
I'm writing down collaboration so I don't forget.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad that you had that. I'm glad.
That's incredible. And Mano almost sounds like a drug. You know?
I mean,
It's like it's part of the Pepto family.
Your daily dose of Mano.
Yeah. Did you take Pepto and Mano? You double dose that?
And yeah, T-Pain too, right? Pain
T-Pain
reliever.
takes the pain away.
maybe that. Well, I guess that Mano and T-Pain.
You know how to tolerate pain? T-Pain. That's how you do it. Like 2 a day. T-Pain. But it's a fair point. Like it's a fair point. Like Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars, Frank Sinatra, no one can ever pay them enough money for the memories that they've made for every freaking wedding first dance song and father-daughter song that they've used. Like they're not getting residuals from that. It's like, come on, right? It's like those are memories that people have forever. Favorite. They're not getting paid extra for that. Come on. Come on.
Yep. Just music. It really hit me this week. I was like, I could never repay that. I could never repay an artist for what they do for me. None. None. So
Fair. It's a good point.
All right. Well, that was good off our chest. Now let's get into some brews. And as you guys can hear the way that I'm talking this week, I'll go first and just say that I was drinking a lot of hot toddies this week, and I was using Colorado Clear Moonshine.
Classic West Virginia move.
Colorado Clear Moonshine. Pretty delicious. And perfect for that bite you need in a hot toddy. Get you to sleep at the end of the night. There you go.
Like it. I got nothing for you guys this week. So Dan, what were you drinking?
Wow.
Rash.
Wow. Just carrying it all on my back. That's fine. Dancing Gnome. One of the finest in anywhere, frankly, but especially in Western Pennsylvania. I had their English mild this week. They focus a little bit more on the traditional, the IPAs, the lagers and the such. But the English mild, it brought me back to London, man. It's been like a year and a half since we were in London, and like still one of the most favorite trips of my life. But the English mild brought me back. Super smooth, little malty, little creamy, little hint of cocoa even there at the end there. Just right. Just a good traditional style beer. There's nothing wrong with that when you do it right. The shots of Dancing Gnome, man. They're just really good at what they do.
That's good. Does Dancing Gnome, I've had a lot of their beer. I don't think I've ever been to it though. Do they have like I don't want to say like gimmick makes it sound bad, but do they have like a beer and when you visit here also this? Like Helicon has like all the pinball machines and like some places. Like, do they have like a thing or is it strictly beer?
If anything, the thing is the food. They have a permanent food truck there, and by that I mean they literally built like the truck into the ground almost. Like the food there is crazy good. So that's like the thing that you go there for. But there's really no other thing there. They have a lot of plants. They have this like plant wall where you can like it's like like take a book, leave a book, or take a penny, pay a penny, leave a penny. It's like take a plant, leave a plant. You could do kind of weird. I don't know. I don't see a ton of people doing it, but that's the other thing there, I guess. Phenomenal merch too. Phenomenal merch. Beautiful. One of the most beautiful tap rooms I've ever been to. They redid it. It's a new one from a couple years ago, but no other thing really going on there besides just phenomenal beer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Chris, you said you have nothing this week.
Correct.
So you had a birthday party with no alcohol?
Ooh.
For a child during the day.
That's his point.
I mean, yeah. I'm not saying anybody gets tanked. At it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, but I mean, I got some seltzers and beer in the cooler for sure.
A little cold snap, just
Well,
get you through.
Little Sam seasonals,
Yeah, hell yeah.
No.
Getting me through those birthday parties in October. That's for sure.
Wow.
All right, boys. Well, let's get into the main menu. Ready? Let's do it. Chris, you brought this to our attention. Not that we don't know the Super Bowl's happening, but
Yeah, have you heard?
Have you heard?
Have you heard the notes?
Spoiler alert, Super Bowl could be happening. So Commanders, Eagles, Chiefs, Bills. What storylines do you not want to hear for the next 2 weeks, Chris?
Yeah, man, I just been thinking, and to be clear, this has nothing to even do with Taylor Swift for me. I know a lot of people are like probably still hung up about that. I don't care. And when that was happening, like I cared for a few weeks and then kind of moved on from it. This is more so strictly like we all are aware that after the conference championship games, there are 2 weeks until the Super Bowl, which means you are bombarded by every single person that covers the sport telling you about the same thing in their own way. Okay. And that just drives me banana sandwich. Like, we should just play the Super Bowl next week. I can't stand it. And so I've been going through my head thinking about all the storylines that could get hammered into our brains depending on who wins. And I can't think of which. I'm trying to determine which one I think I can tolerate the most. And so I'm thinking about, if the Eagles win, like, their path to redemption, because especially if they play the Chiefs, because they lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl previously. And like, also their head coach is like kind of a whiny bitch, and like he taunted their fans, and then they've done really well. And like Saquon Barkley, him playing for a shithole and now getting a chance to win a championship, like, all that stuff is probably going to get constantly talked about. If the Chiefs win, you know exactly what it's going to be. Okay. Dynasty, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. Yes, there will be Taylor Swift talk, all that type of stuff. If the Commanders make it, it's going to be this team that came out of nowhere, and we're going to talk about the rookie quarterback, right, doing it all. And you're probably going to hear about like the 17 colleges he played for on his way to the NFL. And then the Bills, it's going to be the team that has never won it, the team that has gotten so close so many different times. And we're going to hear about the 4 seasons in Buffalo, and they're probably going to play that 30 for 30 on ESPN every day for 2 weeks. So like, that's what I'm trying to break down in my head. Don't really care who plays. Don't really care who wins if my team is not in it at this point. I'm just trying to figure out, what do I want? What can I stomach the most, right? And so I'm still trying to hammer that out, and I'm wondering if the feedback from you two can help me to determine who I want to actually make it.
I think the 2 teams left in the AFC, as we're recording this, listeners know by now whom has come out victorious.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think the AFC conversations are going to be so exhaustingly annoying regardless. I think it's a lose-lose situation. Now, don't get me wrong. Anybody but the Chiefs is who I'm rooting for. Literally anybody but the Chiefs. So over it. I'm so over that conversation. Like, they've turned into the Patriots of the 2000s and 10s and whatever. Just like, dynasties aren't cool, man. Like, they're not cool. They're not good for the sport. Yeah, I see you looking at me, Didi. I know you're gonna come back at me with this. It's not good for the sport. It's boring, dude. It's boring. I hate it. So, but the thing with Buffalo is, it's going to be like, can they win the big one? Can Josh Allen win the big one? When getting there will be a huge accomplishment because of how many times that they've come close and not even made it to the Super Bowl. But it won't matter. It won't matter in that season if they don't actually win the Super Bowl. Because again, even the history of the Buffalo Bills, the 4 Super Bowls losing in a row, just like, it won't matter. So like, that conversation alone on the AFC side is what I'm going to be exhausted about it, no matter who they're playing on the NFC. So go NFC.
Just go NFC.
Just go NFC. Team NFC.
Yeah, just put both of them in.
The logo.
Yeah, gonna get the NFC logo.
She's gonna wear an NFC champion t-shirt with nothing on it. No logos, no teams, like nothing. Just gonna say NFC champions.
I love it.
Yeah. See, it's really crazy because I want the Chiefs to win this game so bad that like, I know they're not going to win it because that's just not how my luck goes. So basically, future Bills are going to be in the Super Bowl, but I don't want the Bills in because I don't want to hear about how much of a loser they've been and whatever for that long. It's just going to annoy me. Like, I hate. Like, oh my God, they're the underdog. Oh my God, they're so sad. Oh my God, the whole fan base, they jump off tables and they still love the team and blah, blah, blah. And it's so great. Like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Want to know why I don't want to hear that? Because they have Josh Allen. Like, that's why I don't want to hear it, because it's different. Like, the Commanders, that's a whole different thing, right? Now, you want to talk about them being losers and having the worst owner in sports, and then all of a sudden he sells the team, and now all of a sudden they're good again. So someone's going to have to find a Dan Snyder interview, and I can't wait for that. So Commanders, I need them in the Super Bowl really, really bad, because I actually feel bad for the Commanders, because all of a sudden they just lucked up. They didn't pick the number 1 quarterback. They picked the second one. And some people had him as like the number 3 quarterback in that draft last year. And they picked him, and he all of a sudden is Jaden Daniels, and it's awesome. And I'm like, and all anybody showed was like, oh man, I don't know if that guy's going to be good, because his teammates at Arizona State, they cleared out his locker and put it on TikTok and talked about how big of an asshole he was or whatever. And I'm like, well, I don't know, guys. Maybe that's not a way to evaluate somebody in the NFL draft. But anyhow, so on that one, I want the Commanders, but the Bills, I'll just be so annoyed of them acting like the Bills are this trash franchise when honestly they aren't, and they have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and they're just good. But they're going to talk about how bad they suck for 2 weeks, and I'm going to lose my mind. But also, and I want the Chiefs in because I like dynasties. I want them to three-peat. History's fun. The first time someone three-peats in the NFL. I want that. I want that. I want that. That's what I want.
Didi gets real offended when, as a Browns fan, somebody else says how bad they are. He's like, you don't know bad.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's it. That's literally it. It's like, you don't know bad. Like, you don't know what it's like to never have the quarterback or pick the best quarterback in the draft and it not work for you. Like, no.
Didi, do you think it would help if the Bills were to play the Commanders, because like then the underdog thing would kind of, like, they wouldn't be the underdog, right? The Commanders would. The Bills wouldn't. Do you think that would help? Like it would help balance the conversation at least?
No, it might, but I don't think they would make. No, they wouldn't be the underdog, but they would just treat them like, it wouldn't be underdog. It would just be like how sad Bills fans are.
It would be the city.
It's so sad. Yeah, the city's so sad.
I mean, it already is without the football team, but that's that's another.
This is all coming to my mind now. This really is the Bills are a nightmare for Didi, because they're going to talk so much about kicking too. Because they lost 2 of those Super Bowls because of missed field goals. Mm-hmm. And then if the Bills were to win, you're going to hear so much about Scott Norwood. They're going to bring him back to Buffalo. Everyone's going to apologize. They'll like make a statue. Didi's risking like 6 weeks of kicker conversation.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. But this is that's hell for Didi.
Sad. Like, it's just gonna be sad Buffalo for 2 weeks. That's all we're gonna talk about. Sad Buffalo for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because if their quarterback isn't one of the best in the world and dating a movie star, it's like engaged to one.
Engaged, yeah. Josh Allen, ever since he got engaged, he's been on fire.
Who's he engaged
Good
to?
for him. Haley Steinfeld. Which, like,
is she was
talk about out kicking your coverage. Good for him.
Just a kid from Wyoming.
Good for him. So I'd be okay with Josh Allen. But like, the other thing with it is Eagles fans.
Yeah.
I don't like hate the Eagles necessarily. Eagles fan, man. Like, I almost don't want them to win, because when they win, that's all we're gonna hear about. The greased light poles, the eating the horse shit. Like, I'm done with that too. Like, we did that. Bring back Nick Foles. Like, we've been there. It's post Super Bowl that I'm worried about for the Eagles.
Yeah, I will say on the Eagles front, and then also looped in with the Chiefs, like, I'm more exhausted by Jason Kelce than I am Travis Kelce.
Oh, amen, brother.
And so, like, I could do without more of this guy. Like, I just don't. He's all over it anyway, and like, I don't know. I think we're doing too much of like, the guy just retired, let's throw him into primetime TV immediately. Like, I feel like the networks are doing that all the time now. I don't know. And then if the Eagles win, he'll put on that whole get up he had last time they won the Super Bowl and be like the champion of the parade. He's not even on the team. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I think I'm down to wanting Bills Commanders just because I'm sick of Philly and Kansas City.
So we're getting Chiefs Eagles.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
we're getting Chiefs Eagles based off of that.
Yeah, pretty much. But I will say, and this is completely my biased viewpoints. If Philly makes it, if they could play Buffalo, then you'd have Kenny Pickett on one side, DeMar Hamlin on the other side. I think it'd be really cool. Also, I do
Win-win.
think a storyline that would be cool is if the Bills won it and like DeMar Hamlin went from like almost dead on a football field 2 years ago to winning a Super Bowl. That would be cool. That would
Yeah.
be cool. But
It'd be cool.
doubt.
Like if he won Super Bowl MVP, because you know how random Super Bowl MVP can be.
yeah,
he
like,
makes
gets a
the game-winning
pick six at the
interception,
end or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be kind of crazy. Or he had like the
Then everybody would
was
say
it
the
against
fix is in. It's fixed.
who was it against the? Oh yeah, because Neil O'Donnell was like afraid of Dion so bad that he threw 2 interceptions just like Larry Brown.
Larry Brown. Thanks for bringing it up, Didi.
Right
Not
to
like
him. Yeah,
I don't
awesome.
remember that from when I was.
He was so
10.
afraid of Dion. He didn't even look to that side of the field. He just
Threw
was
it
like,
right to him. Right to him. Gosh.
Yancey Thigpen ran the wrong route. Come on, man.
Oh
Yeah.
man. But can we have a really quick Jason Kelce conversation real fast? Can we do that?
Sure. Let's
So-
talk. Let's give him some more pub. Yeah.
So Jason Kelce was on the TV. We were watching something. And
That sounds right.
Jason Kelce shows up, and my wife was like, and Siobhan was like, "Why is he on everything?" Just like looks up, just goes, "Why is he on everything?" And I was like, I think that he is what people think is the everyman, and like that's why. And I just don't get it. And I'm like, but I think that's it. Like, because there's no other reason why he would be on anything. I don't find him to be that entertaining. I don't find him to be some great talker. Like, I don't find him to be, I don't know. He's not somebody that I would necessarily feel like hanging out with. But to me, he's got the beard. He's like, he's in shape, but he's also like, looks overweight if you don't know that he played in the NFL. So like, I guess he's like the every American football fan or every American man. And like, is this what women want? Is Jason Kelce what you want, women? I have no idea. Women through all over the country. Is that what you want? Because I feel like that's why this is a thing. It's like he's the everyman. Dudes want to hang out with him. Most women want to marry him. I don't understand it.
Now,
I just think that's it.
who did the because there was a when he was still playing there was somebody did a docu series, right? Was it Amazon or something like that? I remember watching it, and like of all the star players that were in it, he kind of stole the show because like he lives in a normal house, like Didi said. He doesn't live in a mansion. He lives in a normal house with like a bunch of kids. And on the show, the shit was like super messy. And he was like taking out his own trash when he had like a bad back and a hurt knee. And so I think you're probably right, Didi. He like, because of that, I think he like resonated with people because he was just like a normal dude who also was the starting center for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was kind of like a garbage picking field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon, if you will. He's like the Tony Danza of the NFL. And so maybe that's why. But I would rather see Tony Danza do NFL analysis than Jason Kelce at this point.
Ooh, that's fair. I'm down with that. Tony Danza primetime. You're going to get my eyeballs.
TD. Get TD on the TV. Come on.
Oh my God.
You're getting my eyeballs.
Jason Kelce is Tony Danza.
Yeah, write it down. Write that down.
Incredible. Well, let's move on to another NFL topic.
Well, let's move on.
I wish ESPN would say that about Jason Kelce.
I mean,
Let's
this
move
is
on.
Here's the thing. We are kind of producing Jason Kelce's show right now because what else would a bearded, slightly overweight man want to talk about who loves the NFL? KFC.
Boom.
And the NFL's collaboration. And there are KFCs that have popped up in Mexico City that are themed from some of the biggest franchises in the NFL. And I think the reason why this hit us is the Steelers are one of them. But there's also the Chiefs, the 49ers, and there's one other one, right?
There's
Chiefs.
49ers, Steelers.
Kentucky
Might
Fried
just be those three.
Steelers.
Yeah,
Okay,
49ers,
let's do
Chiefs,
those three.
just those
Yeah.
three. Just those three.
49ers, Chiefs, and Steelers, they have their own themed Kentucky Fried Chicken in Mexico City. And yeah. This I just wonder what the people of Mexico City feel about this, honestly.
You think what do you think? What do you think about when they
dropping
heard they're like, oh, these are coming down here, and it's like, no, we don't have these in the United States. In Pittsburgh, there's no Steelers Kentucky Fried Chicken.
No.
In Kansas City, there's no Chiefs Kentucky Fried Chicken. Why? I don't know. They're like testing these out in Mexico City for some reason. I know there's big fan bases down there, but like these things are decked out. If you're not seeing the video, they're surrounded by neon colored lights in the team's colors and logos. Inside, there's jerseys hanging on the wall. The tables have jersey numbers on them. Like it's fully on embracing. You'd never know you were in a KFC besides the fact that they're serving chicken in a bucket. Like you wouldn't know if you look inside. They had these videos of these places. It's wild, but like, if you telling me you wouldn't throw one of these in Pittsburgh, it wouldn't be like there wouldn't be like a line around the door. You're telling me like you're competing with the likes of Raising Cane's. Like you throw one of these bad boys in there, and all of a sudden, when Chris drives by the KFC, there is a line at the door. There are people at the KFC because it's a Steelers KFC. I'm just saying. Maybe this is just test the waters a little bit, but it's a wild, wild idea.
Dan clearly knows my talking point. The reason there's not one of these in Pittsburgh is because nobody goes to KFC. The amount of time that this bullshit restaurant has gotten on this podcast, it's unbelievable to me. Nobody goes to KFC. I don't know anybody who is like, we should have chicken. Oh, where should we get chicken? Let's go to KFC. Nobody says that. Nobody. I don't get this. And like we have this. It's called Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah. This is I don't know, man. I feel like maybe the people in Mexico City love KFC, and this is something that was actually talked about on a set I was on like last month about how people from like different countries love KFC.
Yeah, dude.
Because a lot of countries don't season their food. Like you go across the pond, they don't season their food. Like you go to like Ireland and shit, they don't season their food. So KFC shows up and they're like, holy crap. I've never had 7 herbs and spices on anything. And then
11.
They love KFC. 11, yeah. Sorry, 7, 11, my bad. 11 herbs and spices on anything. And so, but the Mexico City part, I don't get that because they have good food there.
Yeah, right. They
That's
got
a good point.
seasonings
Yeah.
out the wazoo. Like
Yeah, so like I don't get that there.
world.
But other places, like Russia, they don't really season their food either. You know?
Right.
Like,
hey, when I was in St. Lucia for my honeymoon, boom, KFC. Saw it.
Went to it.
I was like, little taste of home. Here we go. That's why we're here.
But these are sweet though, I gotta say. I just don't know why they're there. I don't know why you wouldn't put this in,
I mean, or like turn it. I think you're
trope.
You're right, Chris. Like, yeah. You're like this should be a KFC sports bar. Have the games on. Maybe you can get an alcohol license in a couple of these bad boys where people are sticking around. Eating. You get a bucket of chicken, a pitcher of beer, and you watch the game. There you go. There's your themed KFC. Otherwise, it's like, what's the point? It looks cool, but it's just KFC. I don't know.
I don't get it, man.
The NFL. Look at the NFL. Look at them growing the game.
All right.
When they talk about growing the game, that's what they're talking about.
That's it. It's a pride of this Mexico City KFC.
We're gonna have Carolina Panthers Chipotle's next. Yeah. All right, that's what's coming. We are growing a game.
Dude, when Dan just broke down a bucket of chicken, a pitcher of beer, and all I envisioned was a bunch of Jason Kelce's. He is the everyman.
He's gonna be the face of these
cracked
things.
the code. Yep.
Oh,
I'm happy we talked this out. We talked this Jason Kelce thing out, but now I get it. Because right there, what bucket of chicken, pitcher of beer, who do you see? The guy who's
him.
on all of our TVs.
I
That's
see
him.
a KFC full of guys that look like Jason Kelce. God
Yep.
damn it.
God. Well, happy we talked this out. Well,
yeah. Awesome.
let's get into the weirdest stuff we saw on the internet this week, boys. Before we get into music. So I love doing this because I always see weird things on the internet. I hope you guys love it as much as I do because I just will throw it on the menu anytime. But weirdest thing I saw on the internet this week, Cam Newton and Tim Tebow, two of the most historic athletes in the history of college football and the NFL, playing pickleball. And it made me so sad. We're
hitting on so many topics that make me angry in this episode.
It made me so sad because listen, I'm not hating on anybody. You play pickleball, get out there, move, do your thing, like do your new it's just badminton. Like it's easier badminton. Have fun, do that. That's what it is. And it's okay. Whatever gets you in shape, whatever gets you moving, do your thing. You have fun with your friends, cool. But you know who I don't want to see playing pickleball? Two of the greatest athletes of my lifetime who are still in shape. Okay.
Yeah.
Like if for some reason Tim Tebow and Cam Newton were like 300 pounds right now and just like overweight and this is the way they were doing, I'd be like, good job, guys. Way to go. Way to go. Way to go. HappyChrisGatesFitness.com is helping you guys. But listen, I don't want to see the greatest athletes of my time playing pickleball. I just don't. And if you do, that's cool. I just don't want it on video. And they're so happy playing. And it's the worst. It's terrible. Weirdest thing, worst thing, awfulest thing I saw on the internet this week.
I think what's so weird about it is that they're playing like doubles pickleball and they're on the same team and they're going against like some 60-year-old men.
Right.
Yeah, that's who plays pickleball.
Yes, it is. Let me reiterate for our audience. Pickleball was a sport designed for people to participate as senior citizens.
Because tennis is you have to move around too much for tennis. It's small tennis.
It's small tennis, yes. And I'm with Didi. Like, I actually have several clients who play pickleball and they love it. And I'm like, that's awesome. Like, do cardio you enjoy, of course. So I don't dislike it because it is a thing. I'm just like so aware of the fact that like cornhole at one point got popular enough that they were playing it on ESPN. What are we doing? What are we doing? That is not a sport. Okay? I don't want when we could have let's call back. This is like 4 episodes in a row. If we have pickleball on ESPN2 before they bring back pro beach hockey, I'm gonna have a conniption. Or like skateboarding or snowboarding. Like, come on, people, come on. I'm afraid of the trajectory that's happening.
Sad to tell you, but pickleball's already been on ESPN.
Mother.
Last weekend, yeah. Oh my goodness, they had the whole Ocho was on the rundown. It was
Yeah, it's been on ESPN. It's been on. They had a whole celebrity pickleball tournament on ABC.
It's going to be an Olympic sport. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
Dan, this is going to be an Olympic sport. It's only a matter of time.
I'll take it over breakdancing, I guess.
No.
Breakdancing was awesome. I'm still mad about that. When people bitch about breakdancing, no, the one girl was stupid. Everyone else was great. The whole atmosphere was awesome. Like makes me mad.
We got Halloween costumes out of it. Come on.
Fair.
Man. But yeah, that's the weirdest thing I saw. What'd you guys see this week, guys?
I'm just going to lean into basically the episode that we published last week that was relevant for 12 hours. I've, as a content creator, never been through something like that before, where like you're told that the platform is going away. And so like you as the content creator try to drive people to your other platforms only to then have that platform be banned. And when it's being banned, you get a message that says we're optimistic that the president of the United States is going to bring this back. It's gone for 12 hours. And then all of a sudden it reappears and it says, thank you, president of the United States. Like, will anything like that ever happen again? Like, that was crazy and clearly very political, and like all of these content creators got so jammed up about it, thought their businesses were tanking, only to find out that like it wasn't happening and it was all part of this charade. Wow, just wow. And I'm so happy that like we speak things into existence on this podcast all the time. We predict the future. We do very, very impactful things here at the Brunch Breakdown. And I think that episode that we recorded, even though it will apply to nothing in history, is one of the most impactful episodes we've ever recorded. And I'm happy that we did it. And I'm happy that we thought that TikTok was actually going to be banned.
It did create content for us. That's for sure. Yeah. Even for that brief moment in time, we'll have that forever.
Yes.
Those 24 or less hours, we have recorded a magical hour that will live in the universe forever. That we were witnessing that all live, and that we could share with the world days later when they're like, it's back up and running. What are these guys talking about?
Our grandkids will interview us for their book reports one day.
Yes.
Just point them to that episode.
I'll tell you what, I saw a headline that I should have vetted it because I wasn't sure if it was actually real, because you never know if anything's real nowadays. But for a brief moment, I thought, maybe Elon Musk isn't as bad as I think he is, because it was a headline saying that Elon Musk considering bringing back Vine if TikTok goes away forever. And I was like, I like that idea. I do like that idea. Maybe I jump back in. Maybe I jump in for that. But here we are. What a wild ride that was. And I have a feeling we may not be done.
Yeah. Vine, when I saw that, I thought of the same headline I saw a couple, like maybe around Christmas time, that said Entourage spinoff.
Oh yeah, I saw
Max.
that,
and I
saw that
in 2020. When we get it, 2027 probably.
Yeah,
seriously, that's what I thought when I saw that Elon Musk Vine thing. I was like, this is a bad idea. This is all.
Did you watch the trailer? I'm in. There's a good trailer for it. The weirdest thing I saw on the internet this week, I'm just going to read you the headline. And this is part of, it came up on Digital Marketing News, which naturally I follow because that's what I do. Why this came up on Digital Marketing News, I'm not exactly sure. However, the headline reads, Judge dismisses student's USDA milk lawsuit. And I was, of course, like, this is Scottsdale City Dan written all over it. Let's go. I do need to read you a little bit of the story to give you the full context. There's great detail, and I don't want to miss anything. So, Marielle Williamson, a former student at Eagle Rock High School in LA, had her lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Agriculture dismissed by a federal judge. It began when she was a 17-year-old senior at the high school, and she was informed by school administrators that she could not distribute materials promoting non-dairy milk and criticizing the dairy industry unless she also provided literature supporting traditional dairy milk. So she was like out here going like soy milk, almond milk, and they're like, no. You can't leave the cows out of this.
That's classic California, baby, right there.
So the school district settled in November 2023, acknowledging the right to criticize dairy. However, she continued her legal battle against the USDA, arguing that the National School Lunch Program to serve dairy milk was unconstitutional. That judge noted there were no allegations of the USDA threatening Williamson or that the law authorizing the lunch program included a mechanism to punish students for their free speech. She's now a sophomore at Duke, studying in China, and the case has come to a close. The Associate General Counsel at the Physicians Committee stated that the nonprofit would consider further legal action, saying, quote, the problem remains that there are thousands of students who rely on school meals and the need for alternative to cow's milk. This is just, you can't make this shit up. This is too good of a story. Suing over milk in the school cafeteria. Like, what have we come to? What have we come to?
That's
Just incredible.
That's because there's too many kinds of milk. This is bound to happen.
Hashtag too many milks.
There's just too many milks. I'm the thing that makes me mad is like this didn't cut down on the amount of milks that we have. I need someone to just sue Big Milk and just get this shit cut down. Like I need people to get in a room and be like, yo, 3 milks. Let's figure this out. All right? 3 milks. 3. Like, let's get this done. There's just too many milks, guys. It's too many milks.
True.
It's too many.
They're like, cashew milk, you're late to the party. You are no.
Like,
you guys are done. We're cutting you out. No cashew milk.
Can you imagine how much money she spent in legal fees on this?
Seriously. Yeah, for them to be like, no, sorry. No. Not part of the process. Suing over milk.
Milk in a bag. Move on.
Let's go. It's teaching kids life skills, trying to get that straw into the bag, into that pouch without having it go everywhere. And then you're like, how does this work? And then it's a science lesson. And see, we all win. And it's all coming from the cow.
too many milks. It's too many.
Too many
It's
milks.
It's insane when you go through the aisle now. I'm just like, what is all this shit?
They got to bring in, they're cutting faces of good product to bring in more milk. I feel bad for dairy managers out there in grocery stores. I feel bad for you. I do.
Thank you for your service, dairy managers.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get into music, boys. I'm getting it started this week with, this might be my favorite song of the year. Bruno Mars, Fat, Juicy, and Wet featuring Sexy Red. Holy shit. This song's amazing. Fat, juicy, and wet, fat, juicy, and wet, fat, juicy, and wet, fat, juicy, and wet. Say it over and over again. Go grab your wives behind in the kitchen. Say fat, juicy, and wet. That's what you gotta do. Real 2000s energy right here. Strip club anthem. Bruno Mars is on a hot streak. He gave us the little classical jam that's probably going to win a Grammy next week for Lady Gaga. He gave us the little party cutesy pop jam with Rosé with Appetite. And then now he's bringing us to the strip club. Bruno Mars, thank you for your service, sir. Fat, juicy, and wet. Grab your partners behind in the kitchen.
I just want Dee Dee to stop saying it.
I know.
Just stop saying it. I'm so uncomfortable.
Fat, juicy, and wet. Fat, juicy, and wet.
It does. It's sung that many times in the song. I'll tell you what. I'm like listening to that song. I'm like, all right, I like the beat. I like what we're going here. I like the melody. And I'm like, and then my jaw just continues to drop on the floor. I'm like, we're going there, and and then we're going faster, and we're holy shit.
Yep.
Just wow. Dee Dee, I can't wait for you to put the Kids Bop version of that song on this playlist. And how are they going to finagle that one?
Yeah, I have a feeling that will be it's a little impossible.
Fat, Juicy, and Wet. That sounds like Jason Kelce after they douse him in beer when the Eagles win the Super Bowl. Fat, Juicy, and Wet. That's him at the Eagles parade. I'll gladly try to get this.
Of KFC chicken.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get this back on track a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Teddy Swims release week. I've tried everything but Therapy Part 2 is out, and it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible from top to bottom. We got a bunch of singles along the way, but you're going to get a load of them this week. We're going to put Not Your Man on the playlist. Guilty's going on the playlist. And She Got It with Coco Jones and Glorilla. Oh, what? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Teddy, former Bruncher of the Year. I mean, so proud of you, Teddy. So proud of you. And this album's phenomenal.
Like it. I texted the lyrics to this to you guys, so I'm putting it on the playlist. I'm So Hood, DJ Khaled remix.
Yes.
Do you understand the people on this? Jeezy, Ludacris, Big Boy, Busta Rhymes, obviously DJ Khaled, Lil Wayne, like everybody from the 2000s that made a song is on this track. So yeah, that's my first one.
My second song, I mean, Dan already said it. Teddy Swims week. Guilty was the song I was going to put on the playlist. A lot of Teddy Swims is going to be on the playlist this week. Guilty's awesome. That song is so good, and then the bridge of that song takes that song to a whole nother universe. Yeah. And like, I can't wait to hear him do this song live. So yeah, Teddy Swims. Just shouts to Teddy.
All the Teddy this week. Meanwhile, Tate McRae just putting out another banger. Sports Car. I mean, talk about being in the club. That's just going to want to make you go there. I mean, she's just on fire. She is. Banger. Tate McRae. The song is a banger. Tate McRae, sports car.
I was gonna say something inappropriate, but
I was like, boy, I should use some other words in that sentence.
Dan cracked himself up. Okay, so since I texted those lyrics to you guys, and then I listened to that song after I texted you the lyrics. By the way, I tried to tell you guys I'm good, and it autocorrected to I'm hood, and so then obviously I looked up I'm So Hood by DJ Khaled. That's how we got here. Then I found a 2000s crunk hits playlist on Spotify,
Nice.
and remembered that Mims existed. So I'm gonna put This Is Why I'm Hot on the playlist because.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe you listen to that. This is why I'm hot, and then get into hot, juicy, and wet right after that. I don't know. This playlist could be pretty spectacular this week.
listen, and you want to throw in some more 2000s energy. Here you go. DJ Unk died. Don't know how. 43 years old. DJ Unk died. And if you don't know who DJ Unk is, but you have walked it out or two-stepped, you know DJ Unk. And I'm putting both those songs on the playlist. Walk It Out and Two Step. Very sad. His wife posted it on social media saying that he died and that there's no details on why. But anyways, DJ Unk, Walk It Out and Two Step. Another thing, I don't know how much money DJ Unk has in his bank account from when he goes away, but when he passed away. But guess what? Like, you know what everybody posts whenever their kid takes their first steps? If you're a millennial, walk it out. Mm-hmm. Everyone posts that on Instagram when their kid's taking their first steps. And I'm like, he ain't getting paid all that money for that. We can't pay artists enough. So walk it out. Two Step. Shouts to DJ Unk and RIP. Yeah.
Good point. Last one for me. Lawrence has been on this playlist many times between Didi and I. Gracie Lawrence. She's been acting in the Sex Lives of College Girls, and then there's a song featured in the series, in a very popular series called Never Enough. And like you get to hear her voice in a little bit of a different light, but she just, as usual, shows off her crazy vocal range. Just absolutely like stupid talented. So Gracie Lawrence, Never Enough.
All right, and I don't know why Didi didn't put this on the playlist, but let's keep with the 2000s theme, and we have to put Mano on there, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All the above.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
All right.
Yeah.
This playlist is great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Never Enough has to be like right after Fat, Juicy, and Wet. So whenever you put that together, put that, right after that. Just get your big Broadway banging single. There you go. All right. Well, that's what we're listening to. Thanks for listening to the Brunch Breakdown. No, that's not how we do this.
No.
That's not how we do this.
You new here?
I'm so tired. Anyways, let's go back. All right. And that's the Sounds of Brunch. Make sure you check out the playlist on Spotify exclusively on Spotify. 2 weeks of songs on there. Tell Siri, tell Alexa to play the Sounds of Brunch.
Didi, I think you need to sign off and go have another collaboration is what you need to do.
Yeah. You need to have some more Mano and T-Pain to help you with your ailments this week. And just stay tuned for Fat, Juicy, and Wet, the Jason Kelce story, starring Tony Danza. Can't wait.
And that's the Brunch Breakdown. We're out.